Our story begins in the iconic city of Boston, Massachusetts, circa 1912. Amongst the chime of church bells and a dense morning fog, we discover a formidable figure, a young Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. He's a man on the cusp of an extraordinary journey, preparing to orchestrate a family ascension from humble roots to the pinnacle of American wealth. Poised against the backdrop of the Boston harbor, he watches as ships dock and depart, while his ambitions mirror the bold journeys of these picturesque vessels. The son of Irish immigrants, Kennedy stands alone, engulfed by the tumultuous symphony of the city. A young man living at the confluence of past struggles and future aspirations, Joe's heart pulses with the rhythm of a dream to transform his lineage from humble newcomers into esteemed members of the old money elite in the heights of American wealth and influence. It should come as no surprise that despite early controversy, subsequent success, and heartbreaking tragedy, Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. did indeed accomplish his dream of transforming his burgeoning bootleg liquor business into one of the foremost families synonymous with the concept of an American aristocracy. In today's video at Old Money Luxury, we shall tell the tale, regaling the ups and downs like a schooner riding the Boston harbor waves, and describe how the Kennedy family went from new money to old money. The dawn of the 20th century saw the ambitious Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., a son of Irish immigrants, embarking on his unprecedented journey towards the zenith of American wealth and power in Boston. His trajectory traversed the murky avenues of bootlegging, the unpredictable whirlwind of the stock market, the vast expanse of real estate, and the dazzling limelight of Hollywood. In 1919, as the 18th Amendment was ratified, initiating the era of prohibition, Kennedy sensed a golden opportunity in America's insatiable appetite for liquor. With rumored ties to organized crime figures, he allegedly established a sprawling network of bootlegging operations that churned out massive profits under the radar of law enforcement. The clandestine endeavor, while questionable, laid a robust financial foundation for the future Kennedy fortune. At the same time, in the roaring 1920s, Kennedy ventured into the volatile realm of Wall Street. Armed with an uncanny intuition for profitable enterprises, he made a series of lucrative investments, capitalizing on the bull market of the era. For instance, in 1928, Kennedy purchased Pantages Theatre Company, a chain of movie theaters, for $8 million, only to sell it a year later for a handsome profit of $15 million. His keen foresight shone brightly when, sensing an impending economic downturn, he astutely liquidated most of his stock portfolio by 1929, just before the infamous Wall Street crash. This strategic move not only shielded his wealth from the widespread financial devastation occurring in the United States at the time, but also exponentially multiplied it, as he bought back stocks at rock-bottom prices during the Great Depression. Joseph's adventures in real estate further contributed to his financial ascendance. In the mid-1920s, he started investing in commercial real estate properties. He bought the Somerset Hotel in Boston in 1926 and went on to acquire several other high-profile properties over the next decade, amassing a significant real estate portfolio. Throughout the late 1920s and early 1930s, he steadily expanded his real estate holdings, notably in New York City. One of his most significant real estate transactions was the purchase and subsequent leasing of the iconic Manhattan building at 14 Wall Street in 1929 for an impressive profit. Meanwhile, the lure of Hollywood beckoned Kennedy westward in the late 1920s. He assumed control of several movie production studios, including the famed FBO Studios, which he later sold to Radio Corporation of America, RCA, in 1929 for $4.6 million. Forming part of what is now known as RKO Pictures. These remarkable accomplishments were the cornerstones of the Kennedy family's transition from humble immigrant roots to new money. Unlike old money dynasties, the new money elite, such as the Kennedys, acquired their wealth within a generation. Through entrepreneurial drive, investment prowess, and a little Hollywood magic, Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. managed to carve out a formidable financial empire. In just a couple of decades, Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. had not merely built a financial empire, he had nurtured a dream, a vision for his offspring to transcend the realm of commerce and leave a lasting imprint on the annals of American political history. This ambition was not merely limited to his own life, it was a vision he ardently desired for his lineage. a dynasty that would not just revel in material wealth, but would etch its name in the golden ledger of American political history. To actualize his vision, he invested heavily in the intellectual grooming of his offspring. The Kennedy children were privy to an educational milieu that was the envy of many. Harvard, Stanford, and Radcliffe were all touchpoints in their academic journey. These revered institutions were the crucibles where the Kennedy sons and daughters were molded, preparing them for the great leap into public life. Joseph Kennedy Jr., the eldest of the Kennedy brood, was initially envisioned as the political torchbearer of the family. However, his sudden death in 1944 during World War II tragically upended this plan. The mantle then fell to his younger brother, the charismatic and intellectually astute John F. Kennedy. Fresh from his heroic stint as a naval officer in World War II and a brief foray into journalism, JFK was ready to embrace his destiny in the political arena. His electoral debut materialized in 1946 when he won a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives for Massachusetts' 11th congressional district. This victory marked the beginning of an illustrious political trajectory, a journey that would elevate the Kennedy name from mere millionaires to an enduring political dynasty. As JFK's star began to rise, so too did the realization of Joseph P. Kennedy Sr.'s dream. JFK's charisma, youthful energy, and his family's significant financial resources quickly made him a political force to be reckoned with. He ascended to the U.S. Senate in 1952, defeating incumbent Henry Cabot Lodge Jr., a victory largely attributed to the powerful campaign machinery funded by the Kennedy wealth. The crowning glory, however, came on November 8, 1960. JFK, against all odds, won the presidential election, defeating Vice President Richard Nixon in one of the closest races in American history. His presidency was not merely a victory for the Kennedys, it was the fulfillment of Joseph P. Kennedy Sr.'s dream. The first Irish Catholic president, JFK, represented the culmination of the Kennedy journey from Irish immigrants to the peak of American political power. However, it is important to note that the Kennedy wealth played an instrumental role throughout this journey. It allowed the family to influence media, fund robust campaigns, and navigate the expansive landscape of American politics. The financial resources underpinned the Kennedys' political ascendancy, enabling them to engage at par with America's old money elite, whose members had traditionally held the reins of American wealth and political power. Now, from the very start, the Kennedys, despite their new money roots, sought to weave themselves into the exclusive fabric of American society. They aimed to emulate the old money attributes: elite education, refined leisure activities, strategic alliances, and most importantly, a cultivated image of effortless grace and affluence. Education was the first step. Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. ensured that his children received an education that matched the country's finest, focusing on Ivy League institutions like Harvard. The family's summers were spent at their estate in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, a picturesque seaside community popular with America's wealthy elite. These leisure traditions were reminiscent of old money family practices, subtly integrating the Kennedys into this elite circle. Furthermore, the Kennedys understood the power of strategic intermarriage, which serves as a crucial mechanism for many families in their quest to consolidate power and secure their standing within the echelons of society. One means of accomplishing this was by aligning with established old money families, as they brought to the union not only their substantial wealth, but also the respect and prestige associated with their lineage. These connections could significantly reinforce the family's societal standing and further cement their place among the elite. This strategy became notably apparent when a member of the Kennedy family, John F. Kennedy, tied the knot with Jacqueline Bouvier in 1953. The Kennedys, despite their considerable wealth and political clout, were often seen as new money. Thus, aligning with an old money family was a strategic move to gain social legitimacy and acceptance among the American upper crust. Jacqueline Bouvier was the epitome of old money. She hailed from a distinguished lineage on the East Coast, with roots tracing back to the early French immigrants in America. The Bouviers had accumulated their wealth over generations, built significant social ties, and were part of the country's established elite. Unlike new money families, the Bouviers didn't just have wealth. They were woven into the social fabric of the nation's influential circles. Jacqueline's upbringing was steeped in the luxuries and privileges associated with her family's social status. She was exposed to an elite education, had an appreciation for fine arts, and exhibited a cultured refinement, traits that were typically associated with old money families. Her distinct upbringing and the prestige of the Bouvier name beautifully complemented the ambition and political aspirations of the Kennedy family. By marrying Jacqueline, John F. Kennedy didn't just gain a life partner. He secured a union that helped further validate the Kennedys' place among the societal elite. It served to blend the vigorous dynamism of the new money Kennedy family with the established grace and respect of the old money Bouviers, contributing to a powerful and influential legacy. Thus, as the First Lady, Jackie Kennedy played a pivotal role in crafting the family's image. Her innate grace, sophisticated style, and cultured intellect helped cultivate an image of the Kennedys as an old money family. She masterfully employed her background to shape the Kennedy narrative, enhancing their status through her impeccable fashion sense, her refined taste in arts, and her sophisticated social graces. In the Grand White House, she was instrumental in numerous restoration projects, making it a symbol of cultured elegance and a celebration of American history. This not only amplified her personal stature, but also fortified the Kennedy image as an American dynasty, subtly blending the lines between new money and old money. Through education, strategic alliances, and a carefully curated family image, the Kennedys began to mirror the qualities of the old money elite. It was an audacious endeavor, one that added another layer to their intriguing narrative, further blurring the lines between the realms of new money and old money. The term Camelot, a mythical kingdom known for its idyllic aura and noble ideals, was applied to the Kennedy administration, painting their reign with an enchanting gloss. This imagery, invoked after JFK's tragic assassination, played a significant role in furthering the Kennedy family's old money image and profoundly impacted American culture. The Camelot myth hails from Arthurian legend, where King Arthur ruled with justice, wisdom, and a round table of noble knights. When Jackie Kennedy referenced Camelot in a post-assassination interview with Life magazine, she likened her husband's administration to this fabled kingdom. The metaphor stuck, casting a near-mythical aura around the Kennedy presidency. This Camelot imagery aligned seamlessly with the old money image that the Kennedys were cultivating. Like the legendary kingdom, old money was associated with sophistication, refined taste, and noble birth. Additionally, Camelot is an image that is historically connected with the royalty of England and the Anglo-Saxon mythos, which in the United States is often seen as the realm of the old money Anglo-American elite. To connect an Irish immigrant family with the Anglo-Saxon canon would further cement and blur the lines between who could become old money in the new 20th century America. Thus, the Camelot metaphor served to further cement the Kennedy image as a new form of American dynasty, embodying the grandeur and noble ideals that were traditionally associated with the country's old money elite. With this, the Kennedy presidency brought a sense of glamour and aspiration to the White House. Jackie's fashion choices were emulated by women across the nation, while JFK's charisma and optimism resonated with the American youth, fostering a sense of hope and progress. The focus on arts and culture during their tenure, including the establishment of the National Endowment for the Arts, elevated the nation's cultural landscape, echoing the old money appreciation for high culture. Lastly, the Camelot image also had a profound impact on subsequent political campaigns, with future candidates attempting to replicate the charisma and hope that JFK's presidency represented. The Kennedy administration set a new benchmark for political communication, using television and other media to create a relatable, aspirational image. Therefore, the Kennedys' Camelot and its pervasive influence served to further integrate them into the realm of old money. It marked a significant chapter in the Kennedy narrative, merging politics, culture, and social status into a compelling American saga. Sadly, as with any multi-generation dynasty, the Kennedys' story isn't solely composed of triumphs and victories. It is also marked by a series of notable scandals and tragedies, often referred to as the Kennedy curse. However, it's their stoic, dignified reactions to these trials that have further cemented their place within the old money law, demonstrating resilience characteristic of long-standing noble families. The litany of tragedies began with Joseph Kennedy Jr.'s untimely demise during World War II, followed by the shocking assassination of JFK in 1963, and later Robert Kennedy's assassination in 1968. Scandals, too, were not unfamiliar to the family, the most notable being Ted Kennedy's Chappaquiddick incident in 1969. Yet each tragedy was met with a dignified stoicism that spoke volumes of the family's resilience. They maintained a composed public facade, handling these crises with the grace and strength that many came to associate with the Kennedys. This stoicism was reflective of old money families, who traditionally have navigated the tumultuous waves of fortune with a level-headed demeanor and a stiff upper lip. Moreover, despite these tragedies, the Kennedys never wavered from their ambitions. They continued to strive for political, social, and cultural influence, maintaining their family's prominence within American society. They stayed committed to their causes, from civil rights to education and healthcare, thus ensuring that their legacy transcended the personal tragedies they endured. Jackie Kennedy, in particular, demonstrated extraordinary resilience in the face of adversity. Her poise and strength after JFK's assassination left a deep impression on the American public, further enhancing the family's connection to old money, stoic resilience. In the contemporary world of wealth and politics, the Kennedy family continues to exert significant influence, both as symbols of American political heritage and active participants in public service. Their story is one of resilience and relentless ambition, maintaining their place in the American consciousness. Several members of the newer generations of Kennedys have carried forward the family's tradition of public service. Joseph P. Kennedy III, JFK's grandnephew, served as a congressman from Massachusetts, while his twin brother Matthew has been active in non-profit work. The late Saoirse Kennedy Hill, a granddaughter of Robert Kennedy, was a vocal mental health advocate. However, despite their enduring political engagement, the family's prominence in the world of wealth has somewhat diminished. While they remain affluent, the scale of their wealth doesn't match the likes of today's billionaire magnates. Yet this does not undermine their standing as one of America's foremost political dynasties. Their name carries weight in history, tragedy, and triumph that money alone cannot buy. In the context of new money versus old money today, the Kennedys occupy a unique position. While they originated as new money, their calculated moves, strategic alliances, and cultivated image have led them to be perceived as old money. Their lineage, coupled with their long-standing involvement in American society and politics, grants them an aura of illustrious heritage and permanence, akin to the old wealth families of the East Coast. However, the Kennedy saga has not been immune to controversy, an element that sometimes jarringly contrasts their old money aspirations. A compelling example is the figure of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who deviates from the stoic elegance associated with old money and instead embodies the boisterous audacity often linked with new money. RFK Jr.'s outspoken nature and activism, while celebrated by many, can be perceived as a reflection of the Kennedys' enduring new money energy. That flame of ambition, kindled by their patriarch Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., continues to burn fiercely in the Kennedy lineage, often manifesting in their dogged pursuit of entrepreneurial ventures and unwavering dedication to public service. The Kennedys, therefore, personify an intriguing synthesis of new money zeal and old money refinement. They are a living example of a quintessential American narrative, a narrative where a family can ascend from humble immigrant beginnings to the towering peaks of social influence and political power. In the riveting saga of the Kennedys, one can observe an evolving blend of new and old, a constant striving for higher realms, a steadfast adherence to their heritage, all underlined by an indomitable spirit to carve their place in history. And now, we'd like to see you in the comments. Many people to this day say that the Kennedys are not old money and can never be. Do you agree with this sentiment? Or are they now officially old money? Let us know. and we thank you for your continued viewership here at Old Money Luxury.